Got a, I'm gonna call it Lexus again. It's not. It's the. Doesn't matter really because it's got the same motor. It's a Toyota Avalon. I want to say it's got a 3.5. Looks so good under here. First time customer. Never met the guy. He came by this morning. We talked because he wanted to see me face to face. We did negotiate some stuff on the phone in regards to what we got going on, but it has a whirling noise, and he said 2 different places stated that he needed an alternator. So I mean, in a way, kind of like, well, I'm gonna check myself and make sure, just in case. But we negotiate all this stuff, the ins and outs of diagnosing and then doing work, stuff like that. So he did have some previous work done, like a coil here and timing cover. They did a beautiful job doing a timing cover. I mean, there's no oil leak on this car from the top end that I see whatsoever. Let me see what this looks like on the inside. Can I? Yeah, it looks excellent. Let me show you. Looks really good in there. That is, but then again, he probably got a new timing cover, but you can still see, the signs of age at the valve cover, the baffle there. So you can see some of the engine. I mean, it looks great. This engine was well maintained, or it's just a good motor. So let me start it up. Let's hear that noise, and he has the part. So we're essentially just going to throw what we got on there. But let me verify this noise. Stop. Oh, yeah, the clutch pulley. That's exactly what it sounds like. The clutch may be failing. Okay. Yeah, I forgot those had clutches on them. Don't work on these too often, but I do know that it has a clutch. So yeah, they'll fail. So when we get this off and then we spin and rotate it, we should be able to hear a little noise. We'll see. It'll be nice though. If this is the original part, to put a clutch on it. It'll be nice. But we're going to put an aftermarket AutoZone on there, and we know how all those can be hit or miss. All right, I think I'm done talking. Labor time on this is supposed to be 1.2 hours. I can't remember the last time I did this, but I'm gonna tear into it, get my tools together. Firstly, get this belt off. Got a lot more surface area. Get your hands in there and lifting up on the cover versus putting the pry tool in there and lifting down and damaging the cover. So that's why I took that route. 10 millimeter. And then I'm gonna take this tensioner off. I have to use my light here. I don't know how well it's gonna show up on camera. I think it's gonna, because it's hard to look down here and film. But there's a tensioner here. It's a 14. There we go. Slide the belt off, and I'm just gonna let this sit there. I don't think it's gonna mess with the hose clamp. I don't think so. Yeah, it's kind of far back. Let's not leave it on that hose clamp. So, yeah, just my luck. The batteries is connected. I'm gonna take the connector off. And then that looks like a 10. Let's see if I can get this straight down in there. And again, labor was 1.2 hours. I know I can do this in half the time. We should have enough room to take the alternator, slide it out, and do what we want to do with it. This connector off at the bottom. Plenty of room there. All right, let's get what we need. I think it feels like a 14 at the bottom. You can get a ratchet wrench down here and take it off. Yeah. The pulley ain't making any noise. I guess it has to be under frustrating circumstances. Maybe you need to be turning faster. But usually the tensioners, the idlers are what cause it. Turn everything out. You can turn the compressor, nothing. Turn the idler pulley, nothing. Tensioner pulley, nothing. Water pump, yeah, nothing really. I guess do what they say. All right, let me find a 14. Bolt was on there so tight. I gotta. That came off no problem. I don't know why the other one didn't want to cooperate. I'm gonna try it again because I try to get a socket, a short socket on there, but the tensioner's in the way, and I don't want to take that off because I don't think I need to. I swear there's nothing. Oh, I think there's something in my way here. Let me see if I can move this over. I'm gonna do this one here. So I had the right idea, probably just the wrong socket. Let's see how this one works out. Should be good. That like I got, yeah, I got plenty of room. We're gonna take this. There we go. I don't have to use these often, but when I do, they damn sure come in handy. Like that. I'm gonna use a ratchet wrench. Just run it off now. I would have so much more room if that motor mount here was probably out the way, but I'm not taking that off. I might have to fight a little bit, but it wasn't inhibiting anything. And I wanted this as a through bolt, like you may not have to take the whole bolt out. Oh no, I guess you do. So it wasn't that bad. So yeah, that's fine. So I got that out. Take this one out. I didn't even bother to look at the alternator, the one that's in the vehicle. So I didn't know what I was up against. Like I thought it had like this compression net on the end, but at the bottom, or either, you know, it had a cavity in it where it needed to sit between a bracket. I
Like I said, I can't remember everything. That's out. Let's see if we can get this out here. Oh dang. So it sits in there like this, but the bolts, I got one out in the front here. I get one out in the back. Guess I'm gonna pull the dipstick out. And that should give me a little bit more room to get that bolt in the back, because it definitely looked like the compressor got to pull off. But based on the labor guide, I mean, an hour, 1.2 hours won't warrant that. So it's back here in the back. I'm going to use that same tool that I used for the front one and get it off. So I just had to pull out the dipstick and I have more room. I was about to say, because normally if the labor guide states what it is from 2 different sources, it's pretty accurate. And I shouldn't have to pull off anything extreme to gain access, because I know I can beat labor guides easy, you know, just from experience. I wonder if I can get an electronic driver back here. If I just lift it up just a little bit when I do get it off. Hopefully somebody already picked it off already. And it's gonna be as hard to get off. Took me a minute to do that. Oh yeah, I got a way better room now. Let's get this 12 millimeter in here. I should be able to run it out with this. Yep. Perfect. Oh yeah, that made a big difference. All right, let's get this joker out. Now you should come out, right? All right. Get this radiator. It looked like the fans should come out and have more room, but I think I should be able to just pull it out without having to do that. So this right here. Mess up the neck of the radiator. Look like it's gonna hit it. Yeah, look like the fan should come out. I swear I can maneuver it, and I don't have to do that. This wiring harness is just gonna be in the way. I don't know what that was. Came out. That wiring harness. Show it the other way, around it. I can snake it around that way. There we go. There we go. If I spin the alternator, you don't hear any noise, but when I stop it,
You can hear it. And there's the problem. So it's in the clutch. If you want to see what it'll like without the alternator in there, here's the area. So there's our top bolt. This is where the dipstick bolt went. There's the dipstick hole where the dipstick tube go. Here's the rear bracket. I was trying to get that 12mm out. Here's the front one where the 14 was. Compressors right here at the bottom. I'm gonna clean my area up and get everything installed in reverse order. Here's the serpentine belt assembly. You have the tensioner here, the idler up here, and you got your compressor wheel down at the bottom. Want to listen to things, you have your exhaust manifold / catalytic converter, oxygen sensor. So this is what everything looks like. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean my area up with some brake cleaner, compressed air. I'm gonna cover this hole up so I don't get no dirt down in there. And I'm gonna get everything installed back in reverse order. It's the same exact way, just the reverse order. Put the alternator back, through bolt, or the bolt for the rear, for 12mm, put the front bolt, top bolt, tighten everything up. And connections, dipstick, shield. That's it. Ain't my best cleaning job for a battery, but it's better than what it was. All right, let's start this joker up, see if we got any noise coming out that alternator. Too good. Now before it was making an obvious whine when you first start up, but it had to be cold. But I guess because of the even though the belt and all the accessories may be turning one way, well, there's competing forces such as the load on the alternator, water pump, compressor pulley, power steering pump, and it want to slow the rotation down. And I think that's probably what we're hearing, that noise. It's more of a micro level than anything. Even though everything looked like it's rotating fine, some of those components have loads on it, so, and that definitely contributed to that pulley noise. That's the lubricant I sprayed on the exhaust when I went to pull them bolts off. But other than that, I mean, it was cut and dry. I don't look at repair procedures for most of these things. I just look at labor time and just go at it. I mean, as fast as I work, I mean, I can figure some of the workarounds. The best case, you know, in most cases I can, but there was those rare cases where it's like, okay, now I need to look up some instructions. I've shot myself in the foot a couple times. Again, labor time was supposed to be 1.2 hours. I got done in less than that. You know, probably right at it, you know, cleaning the area up and making sure everything's done right. But other than that, I'm gonna call this guy, let him know his vehicle is ready, because I gave him a 2-day projection, well, 2-day turnover time. So we're good to go. So if anything happened and his part take a crap, because we got it from AutoZone, because we had them bad out the box, I'm gonna say it's a 50-50 crapshoot when you get stuff from the part store. You just don't know if it's gonna work. But I will say, after the first one fails, usually you're fine. But I got a video I'm actually in the midst of uploading. I think I uploaded already, but I just haven't published it yet for the public. But no, I put 2 alternators on here. The guy had 4 alternators on a Honda. You know, but in this particular case, it was making too much voltage. You know, 18 volts. It'd be like that. Just don't know. Even though it was new, it happens. But hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, how to reach us on work. See you on the next one.